Hey guys, it's Jordan Nicole and welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you're new. I'm so sorry for being gone for a really long time. I did the Disney college program and let's just say I only read 2 books in 2018. I know, but the Disney college program was a really good experience and I learned a lot. I made really good memories. It was a really good experience, but I'm used to reading 30 books in a year. So this year, I want to go above and beyond and read more. I want to get back to BookTube and the book community. But today, I'm gonna, get back into the swing of things. I decided to film again. But the thing is, my MacBook Pro is not working very well, so I'm going to have to film videos in one take, so I apologize for the bad quality and the bad background, but as soon as I get a new computer, my videos will get a lot better, I promise. So today I have kind of a long but exciting video for you. I'm going to be doing my reading goals of 2019 in my February TBR, as well as a readathon TBR. So let's get started with all the top 34 books I want to read in 2019. Now, there are too many books to get off of my shelves, so I'm just going to read these out to you. But with my February TBR and my readathon TBR, I will actually show the books to you. So the first 4 books I want to read are by Stephen King. I read Carrie by him about a year or 2 ago. Loved his writing. I loved his horror world building, and I've seen some of the movies, so I love Stephen King, but I want to read more by him to see if he could potentially be a favorite author of mine. So I want to read Pet Sematary, It, The Stand, and The Shining, which are 4 of his most popular books, so I thought I would start with them. And then I want to read The Cruel Prince by Holly Black, which is a very young adult fantasy novel, and I haven't read anything like it, and it's very popular here on BookTube, so I want to read that one. Then I want to read Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor, which I got 2 years ago for my birthday, and I still haven't read it. It's highly acclaimed here on BookTube as well, and I need to read it in 2019. Then I want to read Turtles All the Way Down by John Green, which is his newest young adult novel, which I got 2 Christmases ago, and I still haven't read it, so I need to read that one. Then I need to finish up the 5th Wave series and read the final book, The Last Star by Rick Yancey. Then I need to read The Star-Touched Queen by Roshani Chosky, which is another highly acclaimed YA series, the first book. Then I need to read Queen of the Tearling by Erica Johansson, The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater, The Diviners by Libba Bray, which is a sci-fi, historical fiction, paranormal type novel, I think. And I also have the second book, Layer of Dreams, so I need to read the first book in 2019. Then I need to finish reading Outlander by Diana Gabaldon, because about 2 years ago, I read maybe 70 or 100 and some pages, and I never finished it because it's a chunker, and I suck at reading mass market paperbacks, so I need to get back on that. I need to finish the Hunger Games series and read Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins. That's the third book in the Hunger Games series, and I read the first 2 books, loved them, read them each in one sitting. But then I couldn't get Mockingjay read before the movie, so I didn't read it. So I really need to read it. I know it's shameful. Don't come at me. I need to read Great Mercy by Robin Lefevers, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, because I've currently read the first 3 in the past 3 years, and I want to finish the series in 2019. Ever True by Brody Ashton, which is the next book in the Ever New series, is a Persephone's retelling, and is one of my favorite series of all time, so I want to read that. I want to read You by Caroline Kepnes, which I'm reading right now. It's an adult thriller where the stalker is talking to you, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I want to read The Shadow Cabinet by Maureen Johnson, which is the next book in the Shades of London series. It's a young adult paranormal series based on, it's a retelling of Jack the Ripper, and I love it, and I want to continue on. Then I want to read The Girl in 6C by A.R. Torre and Dark Places by Gillian Flynn, which are both adult thriller books, and I want to read more adult thriller in 2019. I want to read The Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight and The Geography of You and Me by Jennifer E. Smith, which are basically young adult books. One of them takes place in an airport, but a lot of booktubers really love her writing, so I want to read those. And then I want to read Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco, which is another young adult Jack the Ripper retelling series. Sorry. I want to read The Best of Me and Nights in Rodanthe by Nicholas Sparks. I love him. He's one of my favorite authors, so I want to read more of his books. I want to read Perfect Chemistry by Simone Eccles, which is a Romeo and Juliet retelling contemporary novel. I believe it's a series. I want to read I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson, The Wicked Deep by Shay Earnshaw, which is a witch fantasy adult series. I want to read Second Chance Summer and Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Manson, which I read The Unexpected Everything last year by Morgan Manson and absolutely loved it, so I want to read more of her books in 2019. So, also in 2019, I decided for my TBR jar, I put all 34 of these books in my Mickey mug. And each month, I'm going to draw one. So, every month this year, I will be reading at least one of these books on my top 2019 TBR. And I will keep the other TBR jars for now, but I'm not going to be using them in 2019. Also in 2019, I'm going to be, I already updated my books I own shelf on Goodreads and my currently reading shelf on Goodreads. So now, or not currently reading, what I want to read. So now what I want to read will only be the books I own, and every month, I'm going to use a random number generator and put 1 to how many books I have on want to read, and I will randomly generate a number, and whatever book is at that number will be the book I read that month. That's another thing I'm doing in 2019. I also want to get back into my reading journal and keep track of my favorite quotes and ratings and what I think about books I read for every book I read. And I will be doing a video on that later on. What else? I want to post more on BookTube. I'm planning on posting 2 times a week. So on Tuesdays I will be posting a regular video, and Sundays I will be posting my weekly reading vlog for the last week. So look forward to that starting this coming Sunday. I also want to get back into the BookTube community and finish a lot of my open series and read more adult and middle grade books instead of just reading young adult books all the time. But next, let's get in to my February TBR. I will link all the information for Contemporaryathon down below, including who will be hosting it and their channels and all the reading challenges. But it takes place from February 11th to February 17th. Perfect time for Valentine's Day. So I'll be participating in that, but I'm only going to tell you about the challenges I will be completing for the readathon, but I'll leave the rest of them down below in the description. And you can click on their channels that I will also leave down below to see more info as well. So the first book I'm planning on reading is The Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight by Jennifer E. Smith. This book completes the challenge picture on the spine. It has a heart right there. But it's about a girl named Hadley. She misses her flight, so she's stuck in the JFK airport. And she meets a guy named Oliver, and they have a love story in the airport. So I'm looking forward to reading that one. Then for a book, like the most recently required or purchased book I have is Turtles All the Way by John Green. It says, 16-year-old Asa never intended to pursue the mystery of fugitive billionaire Russell Pickett, but there's a $100,000 reward at stake, and her best and most fearless friend, Jeezy, is eager to investigate. That sounds really good, and I can't wait to read it during Contemporaryathon. The next book I want to read is Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins, which will complete the book I meant to read in 2018 challenge, and is the first book in a series. It follows Anna, who is happy in Atlanta, but her father sends her to a boarding school, and she thinks she's gonna be absolutely miserable, but she meets a nice French boy, and they have a little romance, so I'm absolutely looking forward to reading that, and who knows if I like it. I will, in 2019, read Lola and the Boy Next Door and Isla and the Happily Ever After. The last book I want to read for Contemporaryathon is Being Salome Jacobs by Lauren Morrill. It's a contemporary about a girl named Salome Jacobs, who is a figure skater, who meets another Salome Jacobs, who is a hockey player, and I believe they trade places. But this will complete the challenge of Blurple on the cover, because it has blue and purple. So on to the 2 books I'm currently reading. I started them both in January. The first one is You by Caroline Kepnes, and it follows a guy named Joe Goldberg who works at a bookstore, and he's obsessed and in love with Guinevere Beck, or Beck for short, who wants to be a writer, doing grad school, all of that. They live in New York, and it's basically about him stalking her, But what is really creepy about this book is written like he's talking to you when he's talking you. So it's really creepy, really entertaining, and I'm hoping to finish it in a day or two, but I'm currently on page 88. The other book I'm currently reading is It Gets Worse, a collection of essays by Shane Dawson, which is one of my favorite YouTubers of all time. I think it's his most recent book he's put out. The other one is I Hate My Selfie, which if I love this one, I'll probably pick that one up. But it's basically about his struggles in life, bullying, his weight problems, falling in love. It's very relatable. But he is so funny with the way he talks about his life struggles, and I love him, so I'm highly enjoying it. But I'm only on page 15 so far, so maybe in the next few days I can finish that one. Now for the rest of the books I want to read. First I'm going to talk about the book of the month for a book club I am a part of on Goodreads called the Stephen King Book Club. I'll leave all the info down below if you want to join, but every month we read a different Stephen King book, and I just joined yesterday. But last month I believe they read Carrie, and this month we're reading Salem's Lot. And I believe next month we're reading The Shining, so if you want to join, I'll leave it down below and you can check it out. But I'll be reading that. And then for my TBR jar pick, I will be reading Perfect Chemistry by Simone Eccles, which I believe is about a cheerleader from one side of town and a gang member from another side of town. They become chemistry partners. Their names are Brittany and Alex. They fall for each other, and it gives me Romeo and Juliet vibes, so I'm really looking forward to that one, and I believe is the first book in a series. And then for my random pick, for my number generator, for my want to read shelf on Goodreads, I picked Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins, which is up there. I forgot to get it. I'm so sorry. But it's the third book in the Hunger Games series, so this month I'll finally be able to finish that series. But anyway, let's get on with the rest of my TBR. So the first book I want to read is by another one of my favorite YouTubers, Loie Lane, Haunted in Hollywood, The Adventures of Loie Lane. I believe she takes her life and puts a fictionized spin on it. And there's paranormal aspects or something like that. I'm not really sure what it's about. But I love Loie Lane, so I thought I would read it. And I'll let you know how much I love it. Next book I want to read is one of my historical fictions for the month. I want to read Between Shades of Grey by Ruta Sepetys. I read Salt to the Sea 1 or 2 years ago, which is one of her newer books. Highly enjoyed it. It was about the sinking of the Lusitania. I loved it. It was one of my favorite books of that year. And I decided I should read one of her first ever books and see how much I like it. But this one follows Lena and her family in Lithuania, and during the night the Soviet secret police come and take them and put them in a cattle car to Siberia, and they are taken prisoner. So I'm looking forward to reading that. I know it will be beautiful but heartbreaking and eye-opening at the same time, and I highly look forward to reading it. Then I want to read The Left Behind by Tim LaHaye and Jerry B. Jenkins, which is the first book in the Left Behind series, which is a Christian kind of post-apocalyptic kind of Bible Christian retelling type thing, but it's about these people who start to disappear, family and loved ones, and these people who are left behind on the earth with an antichrist that they have to defeat, and all these natural disasters, the plague and all this are happening, so they have to learn how to survive. But I've seen the movie, I loved it, and I'm looking forward to reading this book, hopefully in February. Then I want to read A Million Suns by Beth Revis, which is the second book in the Across the Universe trilogy by Beth Revis. The first book, Across the Universe, I read in 2018, and it was one of my absolute favorite books in 2018. So in 2019, I want to finish the series. So in February, I will be reading the second book. But the series is a young adult sci-fi series about a girl named Amy who is frozen on a ship with her family, and they're supposed to wake up so many years later when they get to the planet they need to go to. So Amy wakes up early, her parents aren't woken up, she has to learn to live on the ship and live without her family. It's a really good book, and I highly recommend it, and I can't wait to continue on with the series. The next book, this book will complete a duology, is The Rose and the Dagger by Renee Attier, which is a book in the Wrath and the Dawn series by Renee Attier, and that was another of my favorites for 2018. So in February, I want to hopefully complete the duology. This is 1,001 Nights retelling. The first book followed Shahrazad. Her best friend was killed by the king because the king marries wives and kills them. So this girl wants revenge and to kill the king, so she volunteers to be his wife, his next wife, and the story goes along from there. So I'm happy to continue on with the story and the duology. Then I want to read City of Bones, Clockwork Angel. Sorry, I was looking at the movie, or the TV show, or whatever it is. Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare, which is the first book in the Infernal Devices series, which is the prequel series to The Mortal Instruments, which is one of my all-time favorite series. I'm planning on reading, I've read the first 3 books in The Mortal Instruments, all the way up to City of Glass. Then I want to read the Infernal Devices trilogy, and then read the last 3 in The Mortal Instruments. So this follows the London Shadowhunters, and The Mortal Instruments follows the New York Shadowhunters. So I'm looking forward to reading that one. Just a little bit more. So the next book I want to read is The Curl Prince by Holly Black. It's highly acclaimed here on BookTube. It's a fairy fantasy series, which I haven't read before, so I'm so excited. And it says, guard your mortal heart. June was 7 when her parents were murdered, and she and her 2 sisters were stolen away to live in the treacherous high court of fairy. 10 years later, June wants nothing more to belong there despite her mortality, but many of the fae despise humans, especially Prince Carden, the youngest and wickedest son of the High King. To win a place at the courts, you must defy him and face the consequences. So it sounds so freaking good, and I can't wait to read it. And then the last book I want to read, if I have time, is Outlander by Diana Gabaldon, which is an adult historical fiction book. So I can't wait to see what I can read in February, and I will be doing a February wrap-up probably at the beginning of March, so look out for that. But please comment down below what you will be reading. Link your February TBRs down below. Let me know if you will be participating in Contemporaryathon. Give this video a like if you've liked and read any of these books. And give it a like if you're excited for all you're going to read in 2019. I'm Jordan Nicole. I hope you had a good time here. Happy reading. Have a marvelous day, and I will talk to you later. Bye. Love you. So first, I'm going to start with the readathon. That's another thing. Sorry. So I will link all the information for Contemporaryathon down below. And